What is happening, everybody? I just found out that the first teaser for Thor Ragnarok has dropped, which basically means whatever happens the rest of this week, I'm going to be in a good mood because this is probably my most anticipated movie of the year. Now, the Thor movies have been uneven, to put it kindly. Thor the Dark World and Thor, probably not anybody's favorite Marvel films, but they did do a good job of introducing the character and fleshing out his world and his cast of characters. And I feel like both those movies had their moments, but are they on the level of Captain America Civil War? No. However, I've been a rabid Thor fan my entire life. I started reading Thor back in the way early 80s as a small child, right before Walt Simonson began his truly epic, prodigious run where I think he was on it for like 4 or 5 years, where we had, Surtur invading Asgard and the introduction of Beta Ray Bill. So many extraordinary tales, and it just, from that point on, I was totally hooked. Went back, read all the Jack Kirby stuff from the Journey and the Mystery days, and I really like these days Jason Aaron's run on the title. He's writing 2 Thor books a month, one with the Jane Foster Thor, which is called The Mighty Thor, and one with the traditional Son of Odin, which is called The Unworthy Thor. For people who don't know, in the comics right now, Thor is unworthy of his hammer, so he's running around with a big giant axe and this really scary magical arm because this fucker chopped his arm off, but Thor needs an arm, so it's really, really cool where you get to have 2 awesome Thor titles each month if you're a Thor fan. What I really loved was the short film that came out last summer showing what Thor was up to during Civil War. Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok, put this together, and I laughed. I watched it 100 times. I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And Taika Waititi was born in New Zealand and made the really, really great fake documentary, What We Do in the Shadows, and also one of my favorite movies of last year, The Hunt for the Wilder People. And I really love the idea that Marvel's bringing in a really unconventional filmmaker to tackle this giant franchise, and I really think he's going to... Marvel's all about bringing the funny, and I think Taika Waititi will definitely bring the funny. And yeah, I think I'm tired of talking about that at this point because I really just want to watch the teaser because we've got Hulk and we've got Loki and we've got Hela and we've got Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master and we've got so many interesting characters I'm looking forward to seeing. And yeah, let's just dig into this. And if I feel like ranting and raving about the trailer after it's all done, then we can always talk more. Yeah, we're going to start this sucker. We'll actually put it in full screen and start it right now. Fuck yeah. I don't know what that is, but it's awesome.
Now I know what you're thinking.
It's like Thor in hell.
How did this happen?
Kate Blanchett.
Well, it's a long story.
Woo! Holy fuck, this is awesome already.
Dead.
I love her.
Hi there.
God, the movie just looks gorgeous. Valkyrie.
What have you brought today? Tell me.
A contender.
It's main event time.
I can't even talk because I'm stunned by how cool this is. Bring on the Hulk.
I give you your
We know
That-
each other. He's a friend from work. Oh, come on.
Good God. I mean, where do I start? There's so much cool shit in that trailer that my head is going to explode. I've just got to sit here and let the waves of euphoria wash over me for a second. Oh my God. I am stunned. Finally, something has shut me up. I mean, just seeing Thor with a helmet and a club, kind of his traditional look. They haven't really been doing the helmet throughout the movies, But Thor in the comics, he's always worn that helmet. It's killer looking. Granted, that's a more modern kind of gladiator look, but that's just window dressing. Hela looked incredible. They really used the great Jack Kirby design from the 60s. I mean, pretty much every iteration of Hela over the last 50 years has not strayed from that original design because it's so classic and so dynamic looking with, you know, the green and the shit coming up from behind her head, and it just makes her look so striking. And Cate Blanchett obviously is one of the finest actresses alive. I like getting a little tease of Valkyrie, and I don't know if she's left Asgard or had her mind wiped or something like that, but yeah, that is Valkyrie that's working with the Grand Master, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe she'll help Thor get back to Asgard. I'm really interested in seeing how they get Hulk to that faraway planet, but the Grand Master in the comics, he's got a big thing where he likes to create these scenarios or these challenges where he plucks people from different areas and pits them against one another. The big one in the late 70s was called Contest of the Champions, and that was a ton of fun. There was another great one in the late 60s with the Avengers versus like the Squadron Sinister and the Invaders. So yeah, I can't wait to see Jeff Goldblum. I mean, Jeff Goldblum is arguably like one of the coolest actors in the history of the sci-fi genre with films like The Fly and Jurassic Park. So he needs to be in the world of Marvel, and the fact that he's playing the Grand Master is awesome. But man, I've still got chills. Like, I mean, sometimes when I'm watching a trailer, I'll get a few brief chills. I'm like, ooh, that was kind of nice. My arms and my neck now are vibrating, and maybe that just means I'm a big giant dork and take this stuff a little too seriously. But I really love the character of Thor, especially when they get him right. Man, I gotta watch that again. But yeah, Idris Elba back as Heimdall. I like seeing Loki get into the action. Anthony Hopkins was nowhere to be seen. I mean, obviously Loki replaced Anthony Hopkins as on the throne of Asgard in the last flick, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Anthony Hopkins obviously still alive, still active. I mean, he just did an entire season of Westworld where he was incredible, so I hope he'll make an appearance as Odin. But yeah, man, I mean, it's April now. That movie comes out in November. We've got 7 months to wait. That's not very long, and there'll be probably 1 or 2 more trailers between now and then. I'm a very happy fanboy, so hope you enjoyed this reaction video. Please give my channel a subscribe. Give me a shout on Twitter at Colbrax, and I'm going to watch this fucker again. So long.